Good morning, Henry reporting, Sunday morning. Well, just thought I'd just check in, see how you're all doing. Yesterday was a really lovely day. As I said, I had some fantastic dim sum in Dundee, some of the best dim sum I've had outside of London, which is saying a lot, because I used to go to the best dim sum restaurant on Gerrard Street in Soho in London at one stage when I was living there, and it was absolutely fantastic. And this was definitely on a par with that. So from that perspective, yesterday was wonderful. Today, no painting this morning. Got a friend coming over. A big shout out for Ewan Irvine, who is coming over from Edinburgh. He's a sort of he works in the same sort of field as me. Really interesting guy. He's been over a couple of times before, so he's coming for lunch today. The old man's coming out today as well, so it'd be good to see Dad. So it'll just be the four of us, Mum, myself, Ewan and Dad for lunch today. So it'll be pretty relaxed, pretty informal. It's interesting really, the weather here has been interesting. It's been kind of very transitional. It's been very much, it feels good. It doesn't feel cold. It just feels a bit breezy, a bit windy, but there's something really cleansing and really sort of purifying about it. And I must say, you know, I often say to people, I was helping somebody, a very dear friend of mine the other day, and this is a shout out for Nancy McDonald. I was helping, just discussing how best to sort of make sure that you're energetically nice and clear, the bulk of the time. When we go through our life, we're rubbing shoulders with all sorts of different people we know, people we don't know, strangers, bus stops, shopping centres, in the street, on the pavement, crossing the road. We're meeting all sorts of people. We're not always meeting them, we're just maybe stepping into their sort of energy, etc. So from that perspective, we do end up, because without realising it, often a lot of us are very open energetically. And when I mean open we're open to receive, or rather we're open to the point where we get ourselves very affected by other people's energies, whether it's somebody's voice, somebody's presence, somebody just talking to you, somebody just being with you, or somebody standing next door to you in the bus stop. I'm sure you all have that feeling where you feel that actually, where you feel that you're definitely being affected by somebody that you're standing next to, for example. There's a really simple way of protecting yourself. I often say to people, anything to do with sort of energetic system of the body is very much in the mind, as in you can control it with your mind. Your mind is the driver for it. And quite simply, if you find yourself, the first thing you want to do is to make sure that you're grounded. And I always suggest this to people, just to do this every morning without fail before you start the day. And when you're grounded, you kind of come at life in a much more present fashion. When you're not grounded, you find often, I'm sure all of you, including myself, we've had days where you just don't feel quite there. You kind of don't feel necessarily you're 100% connected with the day. It's almost as if you're slightly dreamlike, and it's slightly sort of strange, and that you're finding yourself not really kind of coping that well in the day. You're not really paying attention. Your attention span is minimal, and you're struggling to try and kind of keep things going through the day. And I know we've all experienced that. Grounding is just imagining their roots coming out of the soles of your feet into the ground, and energetically that really does work. And often you can do that just by standing. When you get up in the morning, you have your shower, you can do it while you're in the shower. You can do it, just sit down in a chair before you start your day, and just close your eyes and just spend 5 minutes just settling your thoughts, settling your mind, grounding yourself, and getting yourself set up for the day. Grounding itself is very simple. There's so many different ways of doing it, but one of the easiest ways is to imagine there are tree roots growing out of the soles of your feet, down through the floor that you're sitting on or standing on, down through the floor and down through to the bottom of the building that you're in, through the foundations of that building. And this again, when you do this, you're imagining this. You're seeing the roots going through the floor. You're seeing the roots going through the foundations. You're seeing the roots going down through the rock and the earth. You know, you're feeling and seeing that all the time. And when you take your mind away from that, you leave it so that the roots will continue to grow and to expand, you know, whether you're aware of it or not. And that's very, very important. Once you're able to do that, when you're grounded, things like energetic protection are very simple. When you're in a bus stop or on a train, or you're standing in the street, or you're waiting in a queue or whatever, and you find yourself, you know, there's somebody there, or people there perhaps, that are definitely, most definitely affecting you energetically. What you can do, and it's not harmful to them as well, either. That's important to know. Just put a mirror up in front of you in your mind, reflecting away from you. Just tilt it down very slightly, so anything that's being projected towards you gets pushed down into the ground. And when anything goes into the ground, it gets neutralized and it gets taken back and rebooted and taken back to where it needs to go. So from that perspective, you're not harming anyone. If you were to have the mirror straight on, of course, anything that somebody's projecting will be reflecting back at them. And you know, at the end of the day, we don't want to cause any hassles, we don't want to cause a fracas, we don't want to cause any problems. So actually it's easier just to allow the mirror in your mind just to tilt slightly forward, so anything that comes at you gets pushed down into the ground. And you can do that in front of you, behind you, and both of your sides. And trust me, try it. You'll be quite impressed as to how effective it can be. If you have any questions about this, please PM me. I will most happily answer your messages and answer your questions. But I'm going to do a meditation the next day or two anyway, and we'll do a slightly different one to last time. So from that perspective, it'll be quite fun to do, and again, it's something that you can do going forward on your own. Anyway, I just thought today quite important because a friend of mine, as I said, Nancy McDonald, was complaining the fact that she was always feeling other people's energies and being quite affected by it. So I was helping her just to understand and how to get to grips with it, how to open and how to close. Okay, so if you have any questions, please PM me. Anyway, letting you know that all is well in my camp. It's Sunday here, about to have a most delicious Sunday lunch, and I'm sending love to you all, wherever you are in the world, okay? And I'm wishing you the most delightful Sunday. Anyway, lots of love to you all. God bless.